Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome back. I'm going to start with a question. I want you to think about the nicest person at work, your nicest colleague, whether it's in your team or in another team. And I'm going to give you 3 seconds to do that. Now I'm going to ask you a second question. Think about the grumpiest colleague at work, the most unpleasant person at work, or maybe someone that you literally prefer to avoid. If you had to work with this guy, you would say, I prefer not to work with this guy. And I'm going to give you 3 seconds. You probably have 2 people in your mind. Now, I'm going to create here some sort of imaginary bar, where on one side, you have the word pleasant or nice, and on the other side you have the word unpleasant or grumpy. There's a scale, and you can put different people in that scale. Now I'm going to ask you, what is your location within that bar? Where would you rate yourself? Are you closer here to the nicest side of things? Are you more in the middle? Or maybe you are that grumpy colleague that other people prefer to avoid? And another question that I want to ask you, and that's the essence and the main topic of this video today, is what's your own brand at work? How do other people perceive you at work? So guys, welcome. My name is Daniel Junowitz, and this is the Bullseye ProPath Method. If you haven't watched my previous video, I want to invite you to watch it, where you will learn about the methodology that I'm going to implement in this channel, and the different layers and the roadmap and the content that I'm going to speak about. I also want to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you find this relevant to you. So let's begin. Your brand is amazingly important. This is exactly how people perceive you. What kind of thoughts come into your mind when you think about companies such as Apple or Tesla, so on and so forth? These companies have invested a lot in creating an amazing brand, an amazing reputation. They want you to feel certain things when you think about that name. Maybe it's innovation, maybe it's a cool feeling, so on and so forth. Your brand at work is extremely important, and your brand is composed both of your external posture, feeling, the way that you behave, the way that people see you, and obviously it's composed of your work, the essence of your work, the way that you really work. So later in this channel, we are going to focus a lot and mainly about the work, how to improve your work, how to improve your brand at work. I mean, by doing your work, improving your work, doing different things that will definitely make you a better employee. Today, I actually want to speak about more the external aspect of your brand, the way that people see you. We all understand and we all know that most of our communication is non-verbal. We walk in the street, we see people. You walk in the office, you see colleagues. Some colleagues you probably know better, and some others you know less. Think about yourself thinking in your office, in your table, and colleagues walking nearby, passing around you, going to the kitchen, going to the toilet, and you look at a certain colleague. Maybe this is a person that you actually haven't spoken to for forever. You can make some assumptions just by looking at this guy. You're probably thinking, nice, he looks like a serious person. Or maybe he's sloppy, he's dressed in a way that maybe he's not that organized. I saw him in the office yesterday, although I don't know this person, he smiled at me, he told me good morning. Guys, we are, as human beings, a walking sign. We are a walking sign. I'm delivering certain messages right now as I'm speaking, certain signals. And the same applies to you. When you're sitting in your desk, when you're going to the office, you're delivering constantly signals to your environment. And you need to be aware of that, because that is a big chunk of your own personal brand. Again, the other aspect that we're going to cover later on is the professional aspect. That's super important too. But today I'm speaking about yourself, your external brand, the way that you behave, the way that you look, the way that you treat other people, so on and so forth. And the first aspect that I'm going to speak about is attitude. What's the attitude that you're delivering externally? Are you waking up every morning, going to the office, good morning everybody, or not even a good morning? You're just walking in, you're grumpy, you're tired, you're delivering messages as kind of big sign, don't talk to me, don't this, don't that. So other people are definitely perceiving that. Now, it is totally okay to have a bad day. I had a bad day last week. That's okay. Everybody's having a bad day here and there. But the question is, if this is the kind of feeling and signals that you want to constantly deliver, the bad day feeling every single day. If you will be delivering that feeling, then probably your colleagues, when they will need something from you professionally, not sure that they are going to approach you. Your manager may understand that maybe you don't like at work, maybe the signal that he's perceiving is that you're not happy here, so on and so forth. So when you're at work and when you are walking in the office or sitting in your desk, I want you to think about the attitude and the kind of signals that you're delivering. So why not come every morning and say, good morning, people, or just being polite, okay? Making sure that you make eye contact with people, that you're willing to help people if that is needed. What is the attitude? Where would you want to be in the attitude scale? And this is super, super important because this can have a lot of impact on the way that people perceive you. If you haven't thought about it, then this is the time. Okay, I have 3 pictures here. One is wrapped up in a very, very nice way. The other one is kind of in the middle, but there's one present here, okay, which is wrapped up in a very sloppy way. It doesn't look really good, okay? Which one would you choose? Okay, I guess most of us will go for the one that has a better look, although external experiences can be misleading sometimes, but let's all agree that this one is probably the one that the majority of the people will choose. So when you're going to work, your external look in some way is an extension of the way that you are also perceiving yourself, right? So if you're going to work dressed up in a very sloppy way, not organized, kind of, I don't know if you're wearing shirts at work or, you need to iron your clothes before going to work. But eventually, what I want to ask you here is that these nonverbal signals that we're sending, you're also sending them through the way that you behave, your external look. So for me, this is definitely some sort of extension to the way that you perceive yourself, right? So if you're dressed up in a very sloppy way, maybe I can understand, maybe, I'm not saying that it is entirely correct, but maybe your work is also a bit sloppy, right? Or not that organized, and maybe not. But what I want to say is that there's definitely a lot that you can achieve by making sure that this outer look, this external look that you're having, this extension of yourself, the external extension of yourself, is in line with the way that you perceive yourself. And if you are in this channel, it's because you want to make progress, right? So what I want to ask you here is that when you dress up, I have a very kind of easy rule of thumb, and it's the following. There's the average, right? So let's say that most of the people dress up okay, just, maybe a pair of jeans and a shirt, and that's it. That's the average, and that is totally okay. What I want to ask from you is to dress up average plus, maybe even average plus plus. What's the meaning of that? Work is not intended to be a fashion show. And I'm not asking you here to go out and buy some luxury clothing or something like that. What I want you to do is dress up in a way that people will pay attention to the fact that you are paying attention to the way that you dress up. So it's not just about average, it's just average plus. So if everybody's wearing in just with a pair of jeans and a shirt, you do that, but you add maybe slightly nicer shirt or shoes that pair up in a good way with yourself. So it's not about kind of walking in the office like a Paris TV show, fashion show, but it's about making sure that people understand that you're actually paying attention to the way that you dress up. That's it. It's average plus, maximum average plus plus. Pay attention to that. Another thing that I want you to pay attention is your posture, the way that you physically behave at work. So if you're sitting in your desk like that, day in and day out, or if you're again just having bad posture, sitting in the wrong way in your desk and stuff like that, pay attention to that. You're also delivering messages. Again, this is all about making a career progression. So if you want to make a career progression, we're actually starting with the very superficial stuff with this external look. So I'm going to summarize this in the following way. Your attitude. right? You come in the morning. What are the signals that you're delivering before? What are the signals? What is the attitude that you're delivering? Are you the nice person? Are you the unpleasant person? What is the attitude? So pay attention to that. Try to adopt to yourself a good attitude. Ask people questions. Try to engage in chit chats. Ask people how are they. If you need to help someone, assist someone, pay attention to those things. This kind of attitude will be appreciated and seen by people. Secondly, the way that you dress up, okay? So once again, make sure that the signals that you're delivering externally are definitely an extension of the way that you perceive yourself. You want to make a career progression. Make people understand that. Make people understand that you're very serious about this, and dress up in a way that, it's average plus. This is really the way I like to call it. And number 3, and it's what I just say, is the posture, the way that you're sitting in your desk, you're engaging with people, you're sitting in a meeting, okay? Are you super attentive in those meetings? Are you paying attention? Or you are the person that is kind of scrolling in your phone or not paying attention? And these are things that are going to improve your external look and eventually your branding. But there's one very, very important thing to say, and with this I'm going to summarize here. All this is very important and can definitely help you as long as you are consistent about it, okay? Not just about coming up tomorrow to the office, dress up amazingly, and then for a week you simply wear your shorts, or you're going back to some sort of grumpy attitude, so on and so forth. You need to be consistent about all the things that I just mentioned in this video. And this is key for people to see the consistency and improve your brand over time. Building a brand takes time. You can ask those companies, they're investing a lot of money in making you believe certain things and perceptions about their brand. A lot of money for a very long period of time. This is a continuous effort. This same rule applies to you. You need to be super consistent about the way that you behave at work, the way that you engage with people, your attitude, the way that you dress up, your posture. Consistency is the key word here. And if you are going to do all these things, I'm pretty sure that your non-verbal signals will be captured by people at work, by your managers, by your colleagues, and this will eventually help you progress at work, among other things that we're going to speak in this channel. Guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did so, please subscribe to my channel. It was a pleasure. See you in my next videos.